Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 72 of our Tracksuit to the Top series here at Lewis FC in the Europa League. Hopefully you guys are good. Today I have for you guys a live comp against Twente, and then I think I'm also going to do the game following that against Liverpool. So two massive games really. Two games where we're certainly not favourites to win. It's going to be our first ever game in Europe, this game at home against Twente. I kind of like the fact that we are not allowed to play in our own stadium. We actually have to play in the American Express Stadium, which I believe is Brighton's, I want to say. Yeah, it is Brighton's, because the dripping pan doesn't match standards. Obviously, we've got our new stadium being built, but it's not ready yet, unfortunately for us. As you can see, we're moving in on the 28th, so 2 weeks if it's done in time. And then obviously we've got our facilities, which aren't great at the moment. But if we just look at the board screen, you can see they're also due to be completed just before Christmas. So some good progress there. So anyway, I guess we'll just kick off straight into this game. The last game we played was the game against Chelsea, so you've missed literally nothing. It's been 5 days of not a lot. Obviously, big game here against Twente, and then we're also going to follow that up with the Liverpool game. Liverpool last year finished second in the Premier League. They've become quite a dominant team on this save, so we're going to have to kind of, I guess, keep our wits about us when we come up against them. And to be honest, in neither of these games am I particularly going in thinking we should win. Although, actually, we're actually the favourites against Twente here, which I guess the reason I'm not really backing us and not really confident is obviously because of the fact this is our first time in Europe, and so we're still learning. But I guess the bookies kind of look at our squad and they think there's enough about our players to kind of, I guess, go out there and get a result. So we'll see how we get on here. Putting some faith in the boys here. They look all very happy. Obviously a massive game for us, a big kind of occasion, I guess, to mark your first game in Europe. It's kind of one of the landmarks, I guess, when you're playing through a lower league save up and you're trying to perhaps win the Champions League. That's the aspiration you're going for. I kind of feel like there's little benchmarks like getting into the Football League. I'd even say getting into the Championships one, getting into the Premier League, qualifying for Europe, winning your first domestic cup. But anyway, let's not dilly-dally too much. Suarez is still playing, so if he could get a goal, that would be amazing. Matthew Lewis cutting inside. Suarez misses another sitter. He's done too many of them, and I'm already feeling like this might not be £20 million well spent. It kind of feels like there's a force field around the goal whenever he's in the area to shoot, and it just isn't going to go in no matter what. But we'll see how we get on here. We've had a very lively start. Looking at the stats in complete control, we've got a chance here. Carlos Leon whips in the ball. Suarez, Lewis, nice header by Suarez. I'm gonna give him that. Matthew Lewis with his 5th goal of the season, a great little assist. The intelligent nod on. Well, I guess if you've not got the confidence to shoot a goal yourself, the best thing you can do is put in a kind of assist like that. Came from the corner. We retained our possession. Juan Carlos Leon laid it in. Suarez with a really nice header, and then Matthew Lewis with his 5th of the season, doing what he does, scoring in the 6-yard box, left foot. And that's his 5th goal of the season in 5 games. Really good for him. Looking at the stats, we are dominating this game. I did not realise that we were this much better than Twente, or at least capable of performing this much better. We are really playing well right now. Although they are on the attack here, and they're now obviously looking for that counter. Harayan deals with it, however. Can we deal with this second ball? Corona out wide for them. Good block by, who was that by? Pedreira out in the left back position. Sonogo, can we counter now ourselves? We've obviously got a very fast front line, and Lewis is there on his left foot, palmed away. Can Suarez do anything here with the rebound? It's going to be tricky. Sonogo with a real chance there. That was a nice play again there by Suarez to just kind of shimmy around a defender, then lay the ball off, but it was blocked. And that was 2 clear-cut chances there, and we've taken neither of them, and now we're caught a little bit narrow, although not going to amount to anything. But to be honest, I couldn't have asked for a much better start to this game than this. We've had 23 shots on goal, 3 clear-cut chances, 20 having a lot less of the ball, only had 2 shots, now 3, none on target though. We're looking dominant. We are looking very dominant. We just need to, I guess, take this dominance and really make more of it. So I'm going to tell the players I'm pleased with how things are going. Although, really, I'd like to see us 3 or 4-0 up with this kind of performance. You know, this is the kind of game where against a bigger team, they're more than capable of coming out in the second half and really changing the game. Although we've got a chance here straight off the bat. Matthew Lewis, Suarez with another assist. It's offside. I did think it might have been, but again, the lino didn't raise his flag. That happened last episode too, but nevertheless, good for Suarez to get another assist. Harayan has taken a knock and looks exhausted, so I'll bring on Carras. I'm also going to bring on Joe Allen for Batagelli. Batagelli already on a yellow. Don't really want to risk it, so we'll just make that change there. We're looking in control, so I don't feel as if those changes are going to upset the balance of play too much. You know, perhaps moving on to debatably less good players. We'll hold on to our third sub in case we need to make an impact change at some point. But right now, we're dominating the play. 60% possession. Now we just need to make more of that, I guess, and maybe get a goal. Although they're on the attack here. Ball whipped in. Kouakou, though, holds on in goal. Can we now build from the back, potentially? Or we can just pump it over the top. That's the option too. We've got such an athletic front line. You know, very fast players in Matthew Lewis, Suarez. Even Sonogo, players like Leon behind are fast. Oh, Kouakou, what a save that is. So we are capable of just playing the big ball over the top when need be. And we've got the players to really chase on for them. But that was a big save by Kouakou, because despite the fact that we're dominating this game, you know, we've not killed it off yet. As I mentioned, this is the kind of game where some teams will come round and, you know, they'll suddenly change their performance entirely in the second half, and you kind of sit there regretting not taking the chances when you were on top. Hopefully that won't be the case here, although, I mean, it could be, because 20 are having the bit more of the ball. They've still only had 4 shots, but we can't seem to get the ball off them right now. They're just having a spell of possession, although that is a terrible, terrible pass. But we do have Kouakou, I guess, to thank for preserving the clean sheet, as they now have a chance here. Obviously, the group stage of the Europa League is tricky. Oh, and they score, of course they score. It was coming. You could see it coming, because we haven't taken our chances. Looking at it, we're going to feel hard done by, but we've really shot ourselves in the foot by not making more of our dominant play. Ideally in the Europa League, I don't really have an aim as such. I don't feel like just yet for what I want to happen and where I think we should go. I'd like to see us get out of the group stage, and I think having seen this performance, that's probably doable, because 20 are the second seed in our group. But wins are big in the group stage, and this is the kind of game where really we need to win it. We need to win it. We especially need to not lose it, which is a possibility at this point with 20 having a bit of momentum. But yeah, oh, they're on the ball here. Can we stop the ball into the box? No, we can't, and of course they score. Borven with the goal, and I don't really know what to say, really. We've just not been good enough in this game. We're going to make some more attacking option changes. We've got to throw a few men further forward. So yeah, we'll go with this. We're going to throw a few more men into the attacking third. Go a bit more direct. We need to get a goal. We need to get a point here. This would be a disaster, really. More so a disaster than just losing it, having not played that great. Because really, we deserve more, though. This is one hell of a run. Lewis, back post. Oh, he's missed a sitter. That was a chance, and that is uncharacteristic of him to miss that kind of opportunity. And with 4 minutes left of added time, that may well be all she wrote for us in this game. And that's disappointing, because we have dominated the proceedings. You know, we play quite an attacking system. It sometimes leads us exposed at the back, although Suarez here with a chance. Oh, he's offside. And that will be game, set, and match 20. I guess that's the definition of a smash and grab, really, but we played a very attacking system. We got caught out twice. Our attackers let us down. Our defenders weren't there when they really were called upon. And ultimately, Twente, I guess, bear the fruits of our misfortune and our poor play. I wanted to tell the players they played well, but they're not happy about that at all. Fortunately, the other game was a draw, so I guess that's gone our way, at least in some capacity. But yeah, that was disappointing. We really did dominate that game. We played well. Good to see Matthew Lewis, I guess, get the first goal for the club in Europe. But yeah, disappointed. Well, now we have to bounce back, because we've got the Liverpool game, which is going to be another tricky match. As you can see, Liverpool right now are in 8th. They've lost 2 and won 2 so far this year in their first 4, which is kind of unlike them. Looking at the side, you can see obviously in real life they finished 2nd in 2013. The 2013-14 season, and since then they've not finished outside the top 3, so they really have kind of become one of the top teams in England. I believe they've also won a Champions League in that time, so that's going to be tricky. We did break our record attendance, and we had an attendance of 25,000, which is kind of interesting. And the reason that's interesting is because the new stadium that's due to be finished at the end of this month only holds 15,000. So that gives me an indication that it's definitely going to need expanding almost immediately, which is good. It's also worth noting we did make £1 million in gate receipts, which is obviously very beneficial because due to the fact we're still playing in the dripping pan, in the league at least, where we hold 5,000 people. It's tricky, and you don't make that kind of much gate receipts. Harry Ann wants to join Inter. If they meet our valuation, I will sell you. What is our valuation? Our valuation is now £20 million Inter if you want him. Stuart was kicking up a fuss about leaving too. He's been at the club a while, but if he's not happy, I am more than happy to let him go. I could just release him, I guess. 400k though is quite a lot. I'm going to offer to mutually terminate his contract. 180k. I guess we can do that. It's not cheap, but if he wants to leave, he wants to leave. Hopefully the board don't block it. I'd rather get rid of him if he's unhappy. It's a shame to see one of the kind of players who was one of the kind of early players in this series go, but unfortunately for him, he's just not good enough. He joined us in League 2. He's now 31. He's only ever going to decline. So it's a shame to see him go, but I guess it's one of those things. Anyway, we have got to look onwards and upwards because we have got this big game against Liverpool now to look forward to. It's going to be a tricky game, but I'm kind of optimistic that we might be able to get something from it. We are playing away, and last time we played away from Liverpool, I'm pretty sure there was a kind of crazy scoreline. I'm actually going to check because I'm pretty sure it was just a really odd game. Liverpool away, that's in the FA Cup. Yeah, Liverpool away, it finished 6-2 last time we played them, so that was one to remember. Hopefully we won't concede 6 because obviously it's very rarely that you get anything if you concede 6 in any football match. So we're going to need to put up some resilience defensively against them today. But anyway, there's a few games going on today. If we were to lose this, it would make it 3 defeats on the spin, and despite the fact that we have performed fairly well, it would still be disappointing. It's worth noting that we have got a few players perhaps struggling a little bit with fitness. Obviously, they're feeling the effects of the European football. That's going to be something that we really have to closely monitor. Squad rotation is going to be something quite important, I believe, this year, in order for us to kind of, I guess, cope, because there is a massive difference between playing, 38 league games a year, then maybe 5, 6, maybe up to 10 if you're really successful domestic games. Then if you potentially go on a little run in Europe, that's another 10 plus games added into your fixture schedule, and that can hit players pretty hard. But anyway, looking at our squad for today's game, I'm actually contemplating doing something a little bit bold, and that would be bringing in Roberto, the Brazilian, who we signed for £10 million, and maybe starting him. He's not actually started for us yet, I don't believe. In fact, he's not even played for us, but I kind of feel like this could be a game to give him a little bit of a run out. And so, yeah, I'm going to bring him in, and we're going to play him in the poacher role. Matthew Lewis is going to move over to complete forward. We're going to give a little break and a little bit of a rest to Suarez, who's at 93% condition. We have got a few players struggling. I have got my team training set to fitness to hopefully counteract the fact that we're playing so many games, but regardless, it's going to be a pretty heavy season, I think, on our players. So, bit of a rotation in midfield. Tanogo, not 100%, so we're going to bring in Shea Ojo as well, a player who's been at the club a while. He's actually improved a lot, this guy. He really is a top player for this division. He'd be a very good Premier League player for most teams. Last year, he played 24 games and wasn't great. The year before that, he played 22, but this year, the one time when he did play, he played fairly well. So I'm hoping he can do well. As you can see, decent player for Premier League teams. Been at the club a while, quite a familiar face, so yeah, we'll see how we get on here. And also, he's a former Liverpool player, so perhaps he'll want to exert some kind of a revenge, I guess, over his former club. We'll have to see how that goes. Looking at Liverpool's team, a few players there that you'd probably recognise from the Liverpool team. Sterling's there, Emre Can is there, Flanagan is the captain, I believe, which is a little bit odd to see, but he's become the fan favourite, I guess you could say, on this save, and he's the man to lead the line for Liverpool. But yeah, putting in Roberto is a bit of a bold move. I kind of feel like this is the kind of game where a player will either sink or swim, and given Suarez's form, I don't feel like we've got too much to lose in this game. Like, we're not expected to beat Liverpool, although Juan Carlos Leon getting an injury is not good, and that's not going to help us win this game. We'll bring on Sonogo in the roaming playmaker role. But yeah, it's kind of a baptism of fire, I guess, for Roberto. There's going to be a little bit of an eye that I keep on him throughout the game. We'll see if he has any chances. Looking at it early on, 30 minutes in, not a lot happening, although Liverpool are committing a few men forward here, and now they're on the attack. Emre Can at the edge of the area, Alderton, Gomez, Kouakou with a great little save there. I'm going to highlight Roberto as well, the number 19, the 18-year-old Brazilian under-20s international. See what kind of impact he has for us. But we deal with that. Good save by Kouakou. This game's been pretty slow to get started. First real chance coming 30 minutes in, and we now need to defend this. I know the set piece has been cleared and the highlight's probably just going to end immediately, but I'm keen to see how determined our players are to win back the ball. A little bit of confusion there, but the ball is eventually dealt with by Mafembu, of course, the South African who we've got in on loan. Looking at it though, we are actually having a little bit more of the ball, which is kind of pleasing away from home. Especially after the 20 game, it'd be nice to bounce back, but it's not going to be easy. That's a weird set piece there, but Liverpool take the ball away. Emre Can, Sakho, I guess you can't really complain with the set piece when it goes in like that. Mamadou Sakho grabbing his first goal for the season, and Lewis dropped down to 5th. And 3 defeats in the row would be quite a worrying prospect. Obviously, I touched on it before, I'll touch on it again. I didn't really expect us to get any wins in these games. It was going to be a challenge. Perhaps the 20 game was the one where I thought we could do well, and to be fair, we were fairly unlucky. But 3 defeats in a row could potentially be more, because we have got some tricky games coming up. That can hit a team's morale hard. It's going to be key that we keep that up as best as possible. Maybe get some team meetings in, but right now I'm going to be pretty harsh on the players and tell them I expect more from them. I kind of feel like we need to see more from our players. We've not created anything going forward of real significance. So yeah, I'm looking at you, Roberto, to score 2 here and get us a 2-1 win. There's the gauntlet that I'm laying in front of you. Obviously, it's not going to be easy for us, and Liverpool on the attack here, although China with a good tackle. Roberto, not the fastest player, but he picks up the ball there nicely. Runners ahead, that's Matthew Lewis. Sul, however, with the tackle, and Koval will just spread the play. Well, at least we've seen their keeper take a touch in a highlight. I'm taking some positives there, although Liverpool on the attack here, charging at our back 4 here, and that's an ambitious effort, although Kouakou saves quite comfortably in the end. So I'm kind of interested to see how Roberto develops. Obviously, we signed him for £10 million. I didn't really know about his issue with his natural fitness and stamina. Well, I did. I just didn't really acknowledge it as big an issue as it's kind of become a concern of mine. We are training his stamina, so I'm hoping that's going to help him out. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on. I'm actually going to bring on Suarez here, but I'm going to play him in the trequartista role, which isn't where he would naturally kind of play. He's actually, I believe, naturally a centre attacking mid and striker, but we've only ever played him up front, so we're going to give him a chance here in the trequartista role. Liverpool on the attack here. Kouakou with a nice save, however, deals with that. Can we deal with the second ball? We can. Suarez doing some nice work tracking back. And it's still only 1-0. We're still within touching distance, although Emre Can has just scored a screamer. I just saw that curve in 3D, in 2D. That's when you know a goal's good. When you see the ball move in mid-air. That was, well, a wonder strike. I was going to say we're still in touching distance at 1-0, but then as soon as I say that, Emre Can just bends the ball into the top corner. And Kouakou didn't really stand much of a chance there if we're fair on him. But yeah, we'll see how we get on here. Oh, Gomez charging down. Let's not concede 6. Kouakou there with a good save. I think it may have been going wide, but he dealt with it okay. Can we deal with the second ball? We can, although Sterling still has the play here. Good block. Overall, we're doing okay. I didn't really expect a lot from this game particularly, but we're having quite a lot of possession. Obviously, that doesn't really equate to too much, but the fact that we're playing as good a football in terms of keeping the play as Liverpool is pleasing. I think after this game, and I'm kind of between this match and the next live com, I really need to have a look perhaps at some of the match analysis, try and work out if there's anything we can look to rectify and change for the better, because at the moment we are just getting caught a little bit out. Obviously Liverpool, a lot better team than us. Like, perhaps we should do better. Obviously against Chelsea we put up some kind of opposition, I guess you could say, in the last live com. Feel a bit gutted about that 20 game. I feel like we got very unlucky, but yeah, the morale is going to be the real challenge here now, keeping it high. Although Lewis here with a chance, and it is saved away by the keeper in goal, Koval. Can we make anything of the rebound? Probably not, but the ball's whipped in. We can't even beat the first man. Well, that really sums up our form of late, although might still have a chance here. Right, Meyer, the centre-back, with his back to goal. I don't know where he's going. He's looking a little bit lost. Taking the ball to the dugout of the Liverpool players. That's nice of him, although now Liverpool on the attack. Flanagan out wide. I don't know if it's a case of Sanogo's almost dead, having come on off the bench. Good job he didn't start. But yeah, I don't know whether it's a case of Liverpool's just a wider system is just better and kind of combating us. I need to, as I said, just really look and evaluate things here. I mean, I don't want to make too many radical changes too soon, because at the end of the day, Liverpool and Chelsea won games that we weren't tipped to win. You know, we weren't expected to get anything from them. But I guess the manner in which we've gone down, the fact we've conceded 3 is the big concern, really. In both those games, we need to be better defensively, and even in the 20 game. So I do need to kind of maybe have a look at our midfield and kind of perhaps evaluate how we might be able to change it for the better. But anyway, I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. I'm far from pleased with our form of late. You might be able to tell that by this live comment. A little bit annoyed. The 20 game put me in a bad mood. The fact that we can't get anything more than just a comprehensive defeat against Liverpool annoyed me further. I hope Leon isn't out for too much longer, or I'm going to be very, very mad. It doesn't look like he's injured, so I guess there's a little positive there. But anyway, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, smash the like button as always. And other than that, that wraps things up from me. Hopefully we can pick up our form. Our next live com will probably be against Manchester United and then the Lille game. 2 games that, again, I don't really expect us to win, but if we could get anything, that would be fantastic. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys for them. Hopefully we can improve, unless you're one of these people who enjoys watching me suffer. I know you guys exist. And yeah, other than that, that's me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.